Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, and I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week. Thanks for tuning in. We give information to you about real estate mostly, but we also do loans and title and inspections and investment. There's all kinds of opportunities here in the Valley. I wanted to go through some of the employment numbers. Nationally, we're up 330,000 jobs last month. So what does that mean for you here in the Valley? It means a lot more people are working. And that's going to put pressure on housing. And so how are we going to solve the issue of we need more houses? Yes, we do. However, in the Valley, there are still pockets that are upside down, meaning that they owe more than they're worth. It's surprising. I went through some data tracks information last week in regards to this. In Las Vegas, in the Valley, in the surrounding cities, there are a number of properties which have still yet to climb above the marginal line, which is basically you owe more than the property is worth. If you're out there and you're one of those people, I understand your plight and I understand that you probably need some help. So the show is going to try to help you by showing you some opportunities by which you can either work a better job, maybe get a better handle on your real estate debt, maybe refinance that loan that you're currently in so that it makes more sense. And by the way, if you're one of these people who had to declare bankruptcy and we're still in a property that you're upside down on, it's very difficult to get a loan now because you have that bankruptcy on your record. We have lenders that we are in touch with, as well as investors who might be able to help you. Anyway, I'm Jeff Barton, and I'm your host in the real estate world here in Las Vegas, as well as the Real Estate Investment Show. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll be right back.
Are you experiencing hair loss? We have the solution with no drugs, no surgery, and no side effects. Experience 100% pain-free results with Super Grow Laser Cap System, featuring 272 professional-grade lasers that make your hair thicker and fuller naturally. Use it 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and notice your hair growth in as little as 3 months. Visit online at irevivelaser.com to order your Super Grow Laser Cap today and experience unbelievable results. irevivelaser.com.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to internetretailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jeff Barton, and I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we're on each and every week. We bring to you some interesting guests, some information. Look, the Valley's got a lot of opportunities, and what we've been talking about on this show and will continue to do is the opportunities, the employment, how people are making money, what you can do about it. And if you're in one of those bad situations where you're either upside down on your property or you just got to get out, you're going through a divorce, a bankruptcy, there's all kinds of reasons why you just want to get out from under your mortgage. We can help you with that too. And certainly one of the people who does that, as well as many people here in the Valley, are investors, investor groups, people that are entrepreneurs themselves, but can help you in your situation. And with us today from the founder of Outback is John Lee. John, how are you?
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Okay, explain to me, just quickly for the crowd who's watching, what it is your group does and how you got involved in this.
Understood. So, one, I am not the founder of the Outback. I got to make a quick correction there.
Okay.
Mark Collard, everybody calls him Coach. That's his nickname.
Okay.
He actually created the Outback, and the Outback's been around since the beginning of 2012. Okay.
Right.
Shortly afterwards, I became a part of the Outback, and then over time, I became business partners with him, and then we've just been running the Outback ever since. So
I see.
the Outback's
Okay.
been around for, the Outback itself, the group has been around since the beginning of 2012, just over 6 years. Kind of proud of that because,
Yeah.
most places don't last past 5 or so, right? And the official name of the Outback is the Outback Real Estate Investment Network, but the Outback for short. And so the Outback itself is designed to be simply a hub of resources and networking for investors that are out there. And then, that way they can leverage real estate and the power of real estate so they can actually increase their financial level. I mean, that's pretty much what we're all about.
You're a native. You've been here. You grew up here, and so you've seen the changes in the valley since '77. Tell us about that and what impact it's had on your life and the people who come here to live.
Absolutely. So, so I've seen Vegas grow in a way that I guess a lot of people that have come in at a later time haven't seen. So it's really weird. When I was 8 years old, we moved out to the lakes, what's now what's considered the lakes. All right. Now I remember back when from Rainbow to, if you're going up Sahara and you're going from Rainbow to Durango, it was a 2-lane road, just nothing but desert on each side. I mean, that's how far back, like you were driving out to get somewhere, 3 miles or 4 miles, whatever it was. And I seen, growing up through high school to the point where I left for the Army, I just saw everywhere it just grew. And it's funny, it got to the point where when I left for the Army after I graduated in 95, I was gone for the summer, came back, and more stuff was growing. Summerlin was just kind of sprouting around.
Right.
And then from there, I remember I came back for Christmas that year in 95 and for Christmas break, and I literally got lost around my house because everything grew up so fast that I didn't kind of know where I was anymore. And so that was interesting because that's when, that's a testament of how fast Vegas was growing at that time, mid-90s. And then going into 2000s and everything else. And I would come back every year or so when I was in the Army. I was gone out of Vegas for a total of 16 years. And I'd come back and visit family and everything. And just more stuff would grow and more stuff would grow to the point where I kind of didn't know where I was anymore. And, but I mean, I've been back here for 6 years. I know Vegas like the back of my hand. And, I'm proud of the city coming up from where it was to, 350,000 or so at that time to 2.3 million now and all the stuff that it's brought with it.
It's incredible. Okay, the Outback in your investment group, how does it work? How do you attract members? What do you do in order to help them?
Absolutely. So the Outback originally started as just a place to grow the network. All right. Over time, through consistency, we've grown to the largest real estate investor meeting, if you want to call it that, or group in town. Okay. People can find us on Meetup. People can find us on, there's a site called Bigger Pockets, which is for investors, connecting investors. I network like crazy. I'm kind of all over the place, and I find out people figure out what the Outback is before I even meet them. But basically we create the area where people can come in, whether they're new or whether they've been seasoned or whether they're experts, and just can plug in. Okay, and for newer folks especially, we basically set the foundation so they can understand how to leverage real estate. That's like the first step. And then we identify or show them how to identify certain leverage points so they can identify the right opportunity for themselves. That's the second, kind of step for people. And then for the third step is help them negotiate the right deal. And we have the ability to do that within the Outback between ourselves and also some of the people that we partner with to help people achieve whatever they want to achieve in real estate, especially get that first deal done.
Absolutely.
Or expand out from there, create
Now,
volume for
the
themselves.
experience that you bring to it, what do you charge for this? Is there a fee to join the group? Is there some kind of initiation, or is it all just shared in the profits and the losses?
So you can come. So you can actually come. I don't set up an investment group like we could pull our money and then buy property. I don't do that.
Like a REIT or something like that.
Right. I don't do that for
right.
specific reasons.
Okay.
Basically, we have a meeting once a month, first Thursday of every month. All right. We have our Outback meeting. Depending on how early you sign up, it's $20 or $25 for early sign up or $30 that day at the door.
Okay.
So you can come there, or you can become an annual member, $297. You can become an annual member, and that pays for all your meetings for the year, but also I throw in a bunch of other stuff. I have a fundamentals course that we've thrown in, a video course. We have our capital funding summit, which we hold every year in August. That's a $300 ticket in its own right. People get for free.
And who comes to that? Investors, people with money, people that want to use you in order to...
So the Capital Funding Summit is really interesting. Most people are afraid, the biggest thing they're afraid of is I don't have money to invest.
Right,
And money's never the issue. Money is never, there's more money that wants to go into real estate than there's real estate available right now.
Right.
Okay, that's just how it always is. So basically, I'm always ready to take somebody's BS excuse away. And when their BS excuse about money pops up, I generally created this event to teach them all about all the ways you can finance. So we talk about credit, we talk about institutional lending, hard money portfolio lending, private lending, talk about creative finance, Kickstarter campaigns, crowdfunding, which people do now for real estate.
Yeah, they do.
We bring all that together so we can educate people and build a base for them so they don't have to be afraid of money. And we bring those resources with vendors, lenders, and all kinds of resources so they can have that available to them so they can tap into it.
How do you figure out what the actual problem is? If it's not money, if it's not the property, and somebody's still nervous, because it's nerve-wracking when you're first time doing it. Do you walk them over the threshold, or do they have to have enough impetus on their own to do it?
I have, and we have walked people over the threshold before. Everybody's I'll tell you right now, the technicals of real estate are easy. It's always easy. Everybody's issue is always mindset.
Right.
It's always mindset. It's limiting beliefs. It's, if you're older especially, it's all the things that have been programmed into you that scare you from real estate. If you're younger, a lot of times younger people, if they don't have as many issues that have been sewn into them through family and society and whatnot, they get it a lot faster and they can run with it. It's mindset runs everything. 90% of everything is mindset too. The technicals of real estate are easy. And I can't express that enough to people. Most of the time, their fears and everything, they just need to get educated, create a foundation for themselves, and we're all about the fundamentals of everything. Fundamentals of real estate, create a strong fundamental foundation of them, and then from there, we can help point them in the right direction to go achieve and create the deals for themselves.
We've gone through these cycles in town before, right? The ups and the downs. Do you foresee peeking over the horizon a little bit what's going to happen down the road? I mean, are we in a situation where we can't sustain this kind of growth, this kind of price increase? What are your thoughts on that?
So one, I never pontificate on what the market's going to do. Okay. I can't. Now, I can identify trends, right? And as of right now, just to keep it simple, the trends aren't saying that, the bottom's going to fall out in the next 6 months or something like that. But I can never pontificate on the market, and I never will. Okay. All I can do is look back and see what's going on and say, hey, we're trending to a certain point, or we're trending downward, or I can identify the trends, but I'll never sit here and say, hey, we're good for another 3 years.
Right.
No, I can't do that. That's irresponsible on my part. And I don't believe in up markets and down markets. There's always a good time to buy. It just depends on what your strategy is. And that's a whole nother conversation in its own right.
No, that's absolutely right, because each investor has to either have an idea in their head that they're going to put aside a certain amount of money for the rainy day when they want to go out and buy and the market's bad,
right? Or
they're trying to maximize every deal and just keep going forward. I mean, it really depends on where they're at.
Absolutely. Or do I even invest in Vegas right now? Is there other places that I can get more out of my money to invest in?
Right.
There's always considerations to take into account.
John, thank you very much for coming on the show.
You're
welcome. That was terrific. I want to have you back because this kind of investing is really right up our alley here on the show.
Absolutely.
Thanks very much for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to internetretailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop our shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Welcome everybody, I'm Jeff Barton, your voice in the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and thanks very much for tuning in each and every week. We try to cover some topics that are going to affect your particular decisions, whether you want to buy, whether you want to sell real estate here in the Valley. We've had some terrific guests on, and today's guest is no exception. John Lee was on the show earlier. He's with the investment group Outback, and they try to identify and help either get you a property or find out why you're not actually doing real estate flipping or buying and selling or buying and holding, all different kinds of strategies for that particular group. I was really glad that he came on the show today. And of course, once again, we have with us our panel all back in full force today. Hi everybody.
Hey,
hello.
Okay, I just want to introduce the group to us. It's Terrell Big Tex Robinson from Wealth Wave.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Rebecca Fitzgerald from F&F Real Estate Investment. Hi, Rebecca.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? And Charles Giscombe from Malibu Funding, part of the financing end of the show and the experts on the show.
Hello.
Okay, first of all, we're coming into spring season, the availability of properties here in the Valley. What is happening? Rebecca, maybe you can speak to this just a little bit. Availability of property and prices on the market. Where are we heading right now?
The prices have kind of like stabilized somewhat. They are up from this time last year, but they've kind of tapered off. I do see it, that January is always a slow month, and
Right.
things will start to pick up, especially in the summer months, where I'm personally starting like a new marketing campaign. And then the pricing has seemed to stay the same for the past few months. However, it is predicted to go up, especially in the summer. But that one of the reasons is because there's a huge lack of inventory, which hasn't changed much. There has been a lack of inventory, and that's why they are building and they are expanding again here in the Valley.
Okay, and in terms of the available financing, Chuck, maybe you could talk a little bit about that. Programs that are available here today, obviously we're looking at higher prices, so that means that there's less money, more money. What's happening in the lending world?
I mean, at the end of the day, we did get some loan limits changed, which
Okay.
is great. Went up a little bit, allow people to get a little more house conventional wise. FHA limits still kind of the same, but for us, we're always looking at these higher loan amounts, and so now. Once again, I go into the non-QM situation because they allow you to go higher. They also provide higher loan amounts with no MI. So it's an awesome situation for individuals that are looking to buy more house and are kind of like cut off with the conventional loan limits or the FHA loan limits in the area.
Okay, great. And Tex, tell us a little bit about, now you obviously have a brand new situation that you're helping people with money plan for the future. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think it's really interesting for people who are in real estate, who have money in their house. Maybe they can take some of that money out of their house and put it into a program like what you do over at Wealth Wave.
Right. Well, one of the things that in regards to that, we do have clients that are actually refinancing our houses and taking a little bit of cash out because of their children, preparing for their children to go to college.
Right.
So we do have funds that able to put that money in to be able to set there where that money can grow, and it's going to be at a zero downturn market too as well, but they're going to get like stock market returns in regards to the S&P 500. Unfortunately, in states like Texas, you can't do a cash out refinance.
Right.
So those families have to result to other options. Some go to 529 option, or we can still do our other investment option for our children. So we have quite a few people that are doing that right now.
Okay, excellent. All right, let's talk a little bit about employment. Employment in the Valley nationally went up about 330,000 last month in terms of jobs. the jobs here in the Valley with Amazon up in North Las Vegas and some of the other big warehouse jobs. Talk a little bit about how the employment is affecting price and obviously the scarcity of houses. What's happening with that?
Employment actually is increasing a lot also among construction jobs. So that's actually the growth of the city and the new jobs. And plus, it's not just the construction jobs among like housing. There's also a lot of projects that are being built like by the city themselves. Like, I don't know if you've seen like the Spaghetti Ball and like all that
absolutely.
big construction project. Yeah, they're fixing the road. So there's a lot of construction jobs that we're actually lacking. We need more people here.
Well, also, there's a prediction beginning of June, there's going to be about $12 billion put on it, the Strip area, in regards to building. So you got the casino that they've been working on for years. So you have a lot of people that are moving in town that's coming in.
They actually finally decided the Fontainebleau, they're going to turn it into a JW Marriott. After all these years, they're finally going to finish that project.
They've been trying to figure
and they're
something
going
out for a
to
while.
expand it and connect it to the convention center. So there's going to be like a hallway that goes from the JW
The bridge.
to over to the convention center. And there's been some other projects that have been greenlit, which it's kind of speculation if the developers actually have the money. But there's a lot of projects that have been greenlit, and we're sitting around seeing if those are going to get done.
So the scarcity of housing and how we fulfill that, need here in the city. How do we do that? What are we doing?
Well, in terms of that, it looks like D.O. Horton is doing a lot of big mass building out on the north side of town, Lone Mountain Rancho area. They're building one-story homes, and they're trying to match and model the homes that are out in Mountain's Edge, where I used to live. The homes are like 2,300 square feet to about 3,500 square feet, and they're one-story homes too.
I think a lot of focus is actually on like building new houses, which when it shouldn't be. What the real problem is the lack of rental market. Like they're building probably 3 apartment complexes that I've seen. There's one over by the off Flamingo by the Palms Hotel. There's another one at Spring Valley. Or Spring Mountain and Valley View right there. They're building another one. They're building quite a few apartment complexes, which is actually a need not just in the Valley. It's a need all over the place. Even up in Santa Barbara, they're trying to build a bunch of apartments up there. It's always on Globe Street and the multifamily one it's a really huge problem, especially with these construction jobs and things like this, that people are coming here, they're not necessarily going to want to buy or be here for a long time. It's like we really need more rental options.
We had on the show a couple weeks ago a guy from, as you may know, North Hollywood. He's the creative director up there, Alfredo. And he was telling us that, it's booming, yes, but you're right. The actual rental market is not where it, could be or should be. I'm not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a terrible thing because that's what's causing the affordability crisis, especially in California.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so in that, Amazon has come to town, right? And they are all obviously building, it says 813,000 square foot up in North Hollywood. Now that's an unbelievable building that they're bringing people into work. Now where do people up there live in terms of, if you're talking about rentals, obviously.
There is nothing up
there. There is nothing up there.
They must be commuting, which that would make sense because there's a traffic problem going north.
Oh, that spaghetti bowl is ridiculous. I got caught in it this morning. I mean, the traffic. I mean, now granted, it isn't as bad as you might think in some other places, but for here, oh man, you don't see that where you're sitting in traffic for 20 minutes trying to get around the corner.
No, it's becoming the norm here. We're having to have traffic like all the time.
That's amazing.
Right. And a lot of times I take the 215.
Yeah.
So it's not as crowded, but people are starting to get hip to it though.
Right.
So the Long Mountain area is where I live, so I'm on the 215 quite a bit, where traffic moves pretty steadily, except for around that 4:30 to 5:30 range. It gets a little bit tough, but other than that, it's not like the spaghetti bowl though.
Let's talk a little bit about gun control. We talked a little bit off air. We had a good time with it, but the seriousness of the issue is huge. How do we tackle it? Recently, the Trump administration came out with, hey, the states are going to have to regulate how they sell their guns.
Right.
It's not going to be a federal issue. It's going to be a state issue. What do we do about it here locally? Is it a city versus rural issue? Is it mostly protect schools issue? Give me your opinions on how we handle it. Because obviously, without safety around the schools, without safety in the neighborhood, real estate prices are going to suffer.
We want to take that. You want to tackle that.
Everyone wants to focus on the wrong issues. I think we just have a culture problem. And think about how many people are dying in the opioid crisis, like on a regular basis. A lot more people than are dying in guns. And they're not looking, people don't care about the gun violence among like people on people, like in South Chicago or St. Louis and all these places, which really is an issue. Yeah, it is sad.
True.
It really is sad
Yeah.
that people are coming into schools and shooting, 10, 15 people at a time. But these same amount of people are dying on a regular basis, and no one's really even paying any attention.
Those situations, though, are more opportunistic situations, meaning like there's not that many opportunities in Southside Chicago.
Well,
There's not a lot of opportunities, so those individuals are growing up in situations where they have no choice. So violence is the only way for a lot of people over there, which is unfortunate. I think we should focus more attention on creating opportunity in those places. Now, when you're talking about just gun violence in general, like around here, my thought process is, me and Tex were talking about this earlier, you take away guns, you also take away other people's livelihood. You take away people's jobs.
But if you take away guns, like we've seen in Austin, Texas, these people are making little bombs.
That was the point that I mentioned.
That's something I've always said. It's like, they'll figure out another way.
Right. That was the point.
Absolutely
There's the lesser of the two evils. Like I said, look, if you take away the guns, you got to consider people that are, number one, the jobs, the people that are actually making these guns. Yeah, I can see the ARs and the AKs. But if you take away the guns, first thing they're going to do is they're going to go to YouTube and learn how to build a bomb.
Right.
But the biggest issue is when that child walks home through that door, what is mom and dad doing, or where is mom and dad?
Where is mom and dad?
That's the issue. It's not even about the gun problem. Where is mom and dad? And I can guarantee both of them are not at home.
Well, we joked about it. We all joked about it and
Yeah,
had a
we
laugh.
did.
That's
not
what
regards to the gun problem, but the
That's what
reality
I
of
said.
it
We
is,
have a culture problem.
maybe what we need to do is, like we talked about this, is make guns, make bullets, make everything more expensive.
More
If you
expensive.
make it more expensive, then guess what happens? I mean, obviously you can't stop it from the street, because what happens is it gets to the street one way or another, no matter how much you do. But individuals that want to own guns, if you make it more expensive, though, you know what? You're going to do something, because like Rebecca said, the culture is what it is.
Right.
You're watching movies, you're listening to music, you're
It's
seeing it on
historic.
TV.
For generations now, we've been watching it on television, let alone in the movies, let alone now in video games that have been around for at least a generation.
And it's more accessible with your smartphone for kids to see that kind of violence, because they start to become numb to it.
Right.
And what happens is that's the issue that we're having. She's right, a culture issue. I think I don't know how you control that. That's the
But
question.
here's the thing. When I grew up, and yes, mom and dad worked, but we also went over to grandmother and grandfather's house.
Right.
So we still had some type of supervision, and there was no problem.
Correct.
And if you did, there was going to be heat coming down.
The school shootings, they bring attention to it, but one of the issues with the school shootings is people are putting money with both sides. They're both doubling down.
Yes.
So it's not really doing anything, because there's going to be more money that's like going towards lobbying from the NRA and from people
I
that
like the
support
tax
it.
idea. I say if a bullet costs $1, you're going to find a lot less people wasting money on that. I mean, if I go and I go to the range, what's a bullet? 15, 20 cents.
Right.
But if it's $1, now you're going to start to think about, hey, if I shoot 100 times, it's $100. That's a lot different than $20.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
You got
true.
that right, and that's the truth.
Hey, thanks very much for coming on the show. Good job. Really appreciate
Absolutely.
it. I'm Jeff Barton, your voice and your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We'll see you next time.